When Texas Democrat Al Green said during a Homeland Security hearing, quote, "We need to expand hearings on radical Islam to include," watch this, "a hearing on the radicalization of Christians." Now think about that. And they got specials, all that stuff. These people, they send their kids or they get exposed on the internet and they get radicalized and become a Muslim extremist and they want to blow up people and kill people. He used the exact same terminology on us so that people who come here, now we're responsible for radicalizing them. Dangerous, right? He's, again, a university professor in Australia said this incompetent design, said intelligent design, which implies a designer, Romans 1. He says, incompetent design, as I call it, it's an anti-intellectual postmodernist mechanism for snaring the ill-educated, right? Protestant fundamentalism. In front of bars, they're talking about archbishops and politicians running scared and not condemning, what's this? Christian Wahhabism. Notice again, because you might have attended Sunrise for, you got sucked into it, man, right? You thought, I'm going to see that guy with those snappy jackets. That might be a cool church to go to. And fundamentalism shares a belief in original sin, a final judgment day, and a reliance on the Bible as the literal word of God. That's a damaging belief. You need to be rescued from that. We're here to help you. Come on out. Isn't this sick? This isn't Islam. This is us. And now she's calling on for the help of professions to study and treat recovering adherents as they do other traumas and addictions. Like you got some bad virus or you got a bad habit like drugs or smoking, okay? And in fact, back to Richard Dawkins, he calls it just that. He says, I think of religion as a dangerous virus. It's a virus which is transmitted partly through teachers and clergy, but also down the generations from parent to child to grandchild. Children are especially vulnerable of infection by this virus of religion. And of course, he's talking about Christianity. This is our world today. United States Department of Homeland Security. This is their document, Right-Wing Extremism, Current Economic and Political Climate Fueling Resurgence in, there's that word again, Radicalization Recruitment Report, right? And they say that we're trying to take over this nation, and we're right-wing extremists, right? And if you're wondering, according to that definition, okay, what's their version of an extremist, right? Which let's go ahead and get to that. He says this: do you believe? And this is from the report. Are you pro-life? Well, you're an extremist according to the United States government. Are you critical of the United Nations? Are you critical of the New World Order? Are you critical of the Federal Reserve? Are you critical of homosexual marriage? Do you oppose the North American Union? I wish I had time to get into this, but you got to understand what's going on. Not only is the border issue being done deliberately, and part of the reason why is because statistically, the people who come over from the borders and who have been, for the last 2 years, inserted all over the United States of America, but a lot of it per capita is they're going into Republican states. Because per capita statistics, most of those people are given the right to vote, which they're not even American citizens, which get mad at me or whatever. It's a political issue. I don't think you should have the right to vote in America if you're not an American citizen. You need to do it the right way, the legal way, and that's just common sense, right? Oh, you're a racist. You're a... No, I'm not. But anyway, so they're given the right to vote, but statistically, the high percentage is they vote Democrat because they're the ones that gave them all the free stuff, got them over here, whatever. So it's a subversion tactic to take over those areas. And of course, one of the big areas is what? Florida, as well as Texas, right? But Florida, I don't know if you guys remember the last election, DeSantis barely won. Of course, there's a ton of cheating going on, but still he barely won. So you flood that area with people that are going to vote the other way. So there's a subversion tactic with that. The other thing that's going on with that aspect, that's part of it. That's not the whole big picture. The big picture is if you think these guys have given up on this idea of a North American Union, where United States, Canada, Mexico are going to merge into one economic union, you're fooling yourself. And this is the other big thing that's going on. Our culture, the Americana culture, is being flooded as fast as it can with people who don't know anything about the Americana culture. No offense, but they don't know anything about our way of life, the Constitution, to support that, American sovereignty, the Judeo-Christian ethic that our country was built upon, none of that stuff. And so it's a flooding of that to create this mixture so that eventually there's not enough people to speak up, who, when the hammer comes down, they say, you know what, we need to combine all, just like the European Union. Wouldn't that be great? We'll become stronger and better and all this stuff. That's the other big picture that's going on. So they're still pushing for that North American Union. So pay attention to that. Are you critical of the income tax? Do you oppose, again, illegal immigration? Because there's a bigger reason for that. Do you fear foreign powers such as Communist China, Iran, Russia, and India? Are you critical of any of the president's policies, abortion, homosexual marriage? Are you concerned about RFID chips? Do you have a belief in... This is the actual report, folks. Belief in Bible prophecy or end-time prophecies. As one man says, what's interesting about the above list is that a great deal of it has nothing to do with the individual nation. The only possible reason any national government would be concerned about its citizens objecting to things like the New World Order, world government, the United Nations, homosexual marriage, a regional global government like the North American Union, abortion, RFID chips, and a belief in end-time prophecies is because that's what they're planning to promote in the near future. Otherwise, why are you bothered about it? And why would you label us as terrorists? I thought this is a free country. You can have your beliefs and etc. Prophecies being fulfilled far faster than most of us realize. And this is why governments around the world are concerned about these.